All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Run! Go! This is the podcast!
Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a podcast?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and
Podcast.
and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Hey everybody, welcome to Get to the Podcast. Let's get to the podcast with the number 2. My name is Diego D'Souza.
I'm Nick Gambino.
And I'm Neil Carson.
Merry Christmas!
Oh.
It's Christmas Day.
Merry Christmas.
If you're listening to this,
Happy Christmas. That's what they say in
If
England.
you're listening to this
That's what
podcast,
John Lennon says.
I am sorry you don't have a family right now.
Jesus Christ,
wow,
Diego.
I-
It's
That was
actually
very-
Christmas
yeah, that
Day.
was-
Can, you,
that
can
was-
you not be
okay.
like that?
Wow.
All right,
Come
if
on.
you're listening to this podcast, why don't you have a life?
Jesus Christ.
No?
Well, birth of Jesus Christ. Happy birthday, Jesus Christ. Listen, if you're listening to this episode on the day,
It was a Nokia phone.
it wasn't. Okay.
Sorry. It wasn't.
Previously on Get to the Podcast,
We're having all.
he's trying to find out
Sorry.
what iPhone blew up. Oh no, it was a Nokia.
That was a Nokia. Yeah. But that's not Android.
If you're listening to this episode on the day it was released, it's Christmas Day. It's
Yes.
December 25th.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's it may or may not be snowing. I'm hoping for a white Christmas.
Is it?
We pre-recorded this. It has snowed already
I wonder
twice.
if there are people that will listen to this on Christmas Day.
Yeah,
That's
maybe.
exciting.
Maybe
I don't
That
know.
is exciting. I hope so. I hope you listen to us and you
I'll be
spend this
napping.
time with us on Christmas
I'm
Day. No, I hope you. I hope you're having a great Christmas. I hope you're getting what you want. You're giving what you want. You're.
I got some really
spending
great
time
gifts.
with loved ones. Yeah.
Is it me or have you guys like for Christmas now? Like I'm not into like receiving gifts.
I'm
I
not
like
either.
giving gifts.
I'm
I
not.
I like
I love it,
actually
yeah.
like finding things that I think people.
Yeah.
will
Yeah,
like.
I don't
Like,
care.
That
I-
brings me more.
I will
joy.
buy. I think I will buy what I want.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I don't
Yeah.
need you to give me a gift.
Yeah,
I'm
that's how I
tot-
feel. It's
but
weird.
I love giving gifts. I like.
love-
I
yeah.
spoil the hell out of my wife.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
It is awesome.
fun.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because
like,
as
yeah,
adults
like, yeah.
we can buy what we want.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
So
think that's
so
what
when
it
I was a
is,
kid,
yeah.
it's like you receive gifts, and especially because we
It
didn't
always
have a lot
felt
of
weird
money.
'cause
Well,
you
I
could
did
never
go
give
try to
back,
get
like-
that
Yeah.
Porsche, but I got denied. So you can't truly
man.
get. What
Well,
you
you can get a lot of what you
Dude,
want.
get a Tesla. Like the Tesla beats the Porsche, man. Come on.
But as a
I
kid,
don't want that battery to blow up.
There's no Teslas blowing up, man.
so as a kid, I didn't really have we didn't have a lot of money, so the only times I really got anything
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
of like toys and stuff like that was on my birthday, which was in November, and then on Christmas Day.
I was like thinking that you were gonna say like when I robbed that toy store.
I should have.
My Christmas was.
did.
You pulled a Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
from Kiss Kiss Bang
Yes.
Bang, which is also a Christmas movie.
You gonna give me
Yeah.
that GI Joe? I want that GI Joe right there.
Well, Shane Black always has Christmases in his movies.
That's true.
He did Kiss Kiss Bang
I know
Bang.
I nicked sounded like that, but yeah, and that's the same thing. I really, I got stuff. I think one of the Christmas that I remember was the fact that my dad had gotten me a Super Nintendo,
Yeah,
which I was super excited about.
Yeah.
But that motherfucker ended up playing more than I did. So it's like when I get home from school, he's home from work and he's playing. I'm like, yo, can I get some Mario in my life?
I didn't
like,
get
"Oh,
my
I'm
Super
playing."
Nintendo until it wasn't Christmas, but I got an NES. Me and my grandparents bought that. That was like the end of me.
Yeah.
I think that ruined my life. But my my grandparents got me and my sister, who were like a year apart, 2 years apart, an NES with Super Mario Brothers 2 and The Little Mermaid, and we played those games
Like for like
like
I
beat them
couldn't do that
1,000
now, but as a
times.
kid,
Like
you could
did
do
every
that. Yeah.
for like a year. We just played because we didn't. How are you going to get a new game? They were
Yeah.
like $60 or
Yeah.
$50.
Yeah.
or
No,
whatever.
they were like $100. Nintendo games were like
NES.
$100.
yeah. Well, because
That's
everything
crazy.
was like VHSs would come out and they'd be $130 when they first came out. Things
Yeah,
were
it's
like
crazy.
that.
That's why
Media was
people. That's why you
expensive.
rented things from Blockbuster.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta
like,
think
or
those things were
Errol's Video
brand
or
new.
whatever.
That technology was really brand new
Yeah.
with that amount of exposure.
Yeah.
And it like blew my mind. Like
Yep.
being able to like the NES blew my mind.
Yeah.
And then when Super Nintendo, it was just over.
Yeah.
I was like addicted. Just
So
like
the
crack.
first Christmas that I remember getting anything video game related, my brother and I got a present to share. And
Yeah.
it was a Game Boy.
Oh,
wow.
dude, my cousin had a Game Boy. It was
Yeah.
the first time I
Oh
saw
my
him when I went
God.
up to Philly, and my little cousin had a Game Boy, and I was just like, I couldn't. My mind was blown. It was
It
like
was
the first
crazy.
time. Honestly, it was like the first time I saw the iPhone.
Oh,
Yeah.
my uncle had an iPhone when they first came out,
it-
and I was
it's
like,
crazy.
you could open a web browser on this
On
thing.
this-
Like I was like, my mind, I couldn't handle it. I was
Game
like,
Boy.
this
And
is
when you look at it
insane.
now, I mean, people like, I guess some kids are people who are younger think of Game Boy. It was with colored screens. I'm like, no, I'm talking
was
about the
black and
original
white,
Game
yeah.
They
Boy.
think Game Boy Advance.
It was like
yeah.
DOS. It was like just black
It's
and
still
That
white.
big
though.
clunky box.
Yeah, but
And it wasn't backlit, so you had
It
to always
wasn't
like shine a
backlit.
light on the
Yeah, you
screen.
could-
to
Yeah,
see.
yes,
Remember?
exactly.
It wasn't
yeah.
backlit, and I remember playing.
It was pixels like old style calculators.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, but
So,
better.
There was a Mortal
Nothing like
Kombat.
that,
They did have a Mortal Kombat game that I
Yeah.
got later on. I remember playing Hudson.
Super Mario
Hudson
Land
Hawk
was the pack-in.
came
I think.
came with it, right?
What is it?
That came with it.
Super
right?
Mario Land.
Yeah. Came with the.
It was
with the
basically
Game Boy.
like Super Mario Brothers.
It's like
but-
Duck
Yeah.
Hunt, and whatever, and Super Mario that would come with the
Yeah,
NES or whatever.
You got the first,
not
and
Super
Duck
Mario,
Hunt.
just Mario Brothers. Yeah. So, but this one, I mean, I had Hudson Hawk, I had Paperboy. Do you remember Paperboy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Paperboy.
these were like iconic games, and these were like
Boy
the
and his
games.
blob.
Yeah, there were so
Oh my
many.
gosh, yeah.
So
Remember the little jelly beans? You
I
had to feed
love
the blob
this,
or
and-
whatever?
and-
Kid Icarus. Yeah. Oh my god.
I loved
Wow.
that game. I think that was the same. I think that was the same year I got.
Little Nemo. Remember that game?
No, I don't
That was
remember.
Capcom.
I remember it, but I never
Great
played
game.
it. So
Great
I
game.
remember later. No, I think it was the same Christmas I got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie on VHS,
Yeah.
the original one, which was a year or two, like probably two. No, it was like the year. No, that came out in 1990, so I got that in 1990. Anyways, I think it was the same year, and I think I got Rad on VHS that year.
Oh,
BMX
wow.
bike. We had Bill
Oh, yeah,
Allen,
yeah.
and then
Do
here
you
we
still
are
have
on
it?
this pod. Yeah, somewhere.
still have
I
Rad?
do on VHS, and and we
God,
had Bill Allen who played
know what's
Crew Jones
weird?
in that movie on the podcast.
Yeah.
So
Thinking
it's
about like Christmases, I remember one year I watched Cliffhanger on Christmas.
Really?
For some weird, my aunt
No.
worked at a it was God, I forget what
A
the name of
resort?
it was, but no, it was a video rental place in Philadelphia, and they didn't have them in Virginia where I live. So like she came down.
Palmer's.
No,
Video?
it was like I cannot remember what
Y'all
it was
remember
called, but they were
Palmer's
all
Video?
over the place up there.
There was Hollywood Video, Blockbuster, Palmer Videos. Those are the three that I remember that were great.
I remember
didn't-
Arrows.
I never
there was
rented
an
from
Arrows
chains.
video down here.
I didn't
It
rent
was
from
like really
chains.
big. They had Beta. We had like
Beta.
5
Arrows
Beta
video?
players. Like
Oh,
the
wow.
Betas were like
Did you have
literally the size
Laserdisc?
of,
They
like,
were
you
a
guys get
VCR.
Laserdisc?
we never. I
themselves.
wanted a Laserdisc so bad because it seemed so cool to me.
That was the
like,
fastest,
the giant
like, flip.
record or whatever.
Yeah, I knew somebody who had a Laserdisc. But it was.
I knew
crazy.
someone that had one too. Yeah, and then they had because I remember Jurassic Park came out on Laserdisc,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I really want that. And Terminator Terminator 2. I
Yeah.
think was released.
Wow.
But anyway, she had that, and she would always, because she worked there, she got like all these free VHS tapes, and
Yeah.
she would like bring them down and like give them to us or whatever for Christmas. So I never seen Cliffhanger,
Cliffhanger.
and she brought Cliffhanger because it's rated R. I never would have seen it in theaters. I was like 10 years
Oh my
old
God,
or
dude,
something,
dude.
and so we watched Cliffhanger.
What year was this?
I may have been like I guess the year after it came out or
94,
something.
95?
Yeah, maybe
One of those 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I got for Christmas?
What?
Cliffhanger.
The
From my
movie?
sister. Yeah,
Wow,
VHS.
that's hilarious.
You just said that.
Because of
I
this-
brought this whole thing back because then later on she threatened to take it away because I was being an asshole to her. So I always remember this. But she gave me Cliffhanger on
Yeah.
VHS for Christmas.
Wait, what
Yeah.
year?
It was either 94 or 95 because that movie came out. in 93.
Dude, I did not get Cliffhanger that year.
Wow, anticlimactic.
I remember like loving that movie, and I always, for some reason, I still
still love
associate
that
that
film.
with Christmas
Because you saw
the
it on
first
Christmas
time I
Day.
saw
Yeah.
it was like, it was Christmas Eve actually.
Oh, wow.
Like we
I
had
love
like,
that film.
We had TV set up all over the house like with VHS machines, and so there was like one in the living room,
Yeah.
and I watched it there, and the Christmas tree was behind me with the lights on, and it was just like, I don't know, this whole Christmas gifts everywhere,
Yeah.
like piled under the tree, and I'm watching this horrible, like violent fucking movie.
I
with,
got Never Ending Story for
Jonathan
Christmas
Lithgow.
because I had seen
My
it
boy
on
Jonathan.
September for
John.
my birthday and I loved it.
You got which
Never
Never
Ending
Ending Story? Nice.
Oh, that's
And
great.
I got it for Christmas.
Nice.
Because I saw it on my birthday and I loved it when I was little.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, and also into my teenage years and everything, even now really, all you needed to get me is movies. Like
Yeah.
that's all I ever wanted. I mean, I pretty much my entire movie collection on VHS, DVD, and beyond was always collected at movies.
You know, I didn't
movies
get
and
that
birthday.
way until DVD came out.
Interesting.
When DVD disc came out, like we had so many VHSs growing up, and I was just like over it. I was like, the quality's crap.
Oh.
And then that's one of the things I really got into video games because they had like digital video, and then I got into computers because you had digital video.
Yeah.
And then when like I remember, I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was Laserdisc, and then there was a thing called VCD, which was video CD, which was like a short-lived format, which is basically a compact disc that had like a highly compressed movie on
It was
it.
right before
Oh, wow.
DVD.
Yeah.
It looked like almost as bad. Like I feel like VHS tapes look better, but it was like the beginning of like DVD.
Yeah.
And then DVD came out, and it was like 10 times the storage capacity, so they could do a higher bit rate
Which
video.
was 4.7 gigs.
Yeah, 4.7 gigs, and then a double layer DVD came out. But then when DVDs came out, I was just like, floored by like the quality. It
Yeah.
was just like it blew my mind. I was
Right.
like, this is insane, and I became obsessed with collecting DVDs. I now own like 1,200 DVDs, like an asshole, because then they come out with Blu-ray, and I
you-
want to rebuy all the movies I own on
Yeah.
fucking Blu. And I'm like, you
The
guys.
only
scammed
reason
me.
I
Yeah.
went to Blu-ray,
So I
is-
just stopped buying movies altogether.
the only
'cause
reason I
I'm
went
like,
to
fuck it.
Blu-ray is because they're like literally like unscratchable.
Oh,
Right.
are they?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
They're very hard to scratch.
They're
compared
very
to
hard to scratch, and
DVDs.
Yeah.
You know, I just read. There's an article I just read. Apparently, Blu-rays are actually coming back. Like they're not. I mean, obviously they
they?
didn't go, but like literally,
Sony
they're
just came
resurging
out-
because of the all the different streaming services that are coming out. It used to just be like Netflix and maybe
Yeah.
Hulu. And now it's everything's getting so fractured, like it's all over the place, and like Netflix keeps taking major things off, and the thread of like Friends coming off, and all these
So this
things
idea
happening.
that something will always be there.
Yeah, it's starting to
It's
be like
like,
really
yeah,
shaky, and
yeah.
it's sort of like, well, people are like, I need a reliable source here, and they're going to just start to
But
buy
this
the
goes-
physical copies again. And I'm like,
I'm into it.
Yeah.
yeah, I am too a little bit, but like, because it always is better than streaming. Like there
Yeah.
is something about it being local
Yeah.
and not having to worry about an
Dude,
internet,
last night-
connection. Yeah,
Last night we're trying to watch Home Alone, and it's either pay $10 for a movie that you own, or like you could own.
Yep.
Or it was like they had it on one service, and it was
Yeah.
like it just cut like 6 or 7 times,
Yeah.
like it just
well,
froze.
the Stars
the
app on like every device that I've ever used it on is
Yeah.
terrible and unreliable. So it kept like freezing out. It wasn't my internet signal; it was the app, and it would like just crash out on us. And we
Yeah.
kept, it happened 5
But that's
times
the
watching
thing.
Home
It's
Alone
like
2 last
if
night.
I didn't own any movies, I would probably pay like if it was an older movie, I'd probably pay something like $2.99 to rent it for the evening. And I'm like, do I want to pay $3 every time I have an urge to watch some random movie? Like if
Right.
I want to watch Lethal Weapon or Die Hard or
Yeah.
Never Ending Story or some cliffhanger or whatever. Like I don't want to pay $2.99 on Amazon.
Yeah, we like to
Prime
rewatch
or
movies.
whatever if it's not on Netflix or something.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck that. I'm just gonna own the Blu-ray.
It's Sony. Sony came out with this new Blu-ray technology, which is like amazing and holds like 4 or 5 times more content than a regular Blu-ray. And regular Blu-ray is about 50 gigs.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it, so you're talking about 200, like around 250 gigs of storage. and of
crazy.
course, 8K televisions are getting ready to come out.
Yeah.
And which is
Which is,
which I
it
knew.
seems
I knew.
like
See, this is
so
what I said. I said
silly.
4K is going to be a fad like Blu-ray. 4K is going to come in and go out. The reason why I
It
felt that
it looks better, but like, come on.
How much better do you need it?
Like the difference between DVD and Blu-ray is
I
dramatic.
saw no, I
To me.
I saw an 8K
me, it's
TV.
dramatic.
They had a one of those sensors in Best Buy.
Yeah.
They had one over there at Tyson's. It
But
was-
like, the thing is you're gonna buy it, and then there's gonna be no content.
right.
Same thing with like 4K. Like I feel like there's more content now, but now they're just taking old films that were shot on film, remastering them in 4K, and then sell them to you for $30 a pop.
Right.
And then you watch it, and you're like, yeah, the Matrix looks a little bit crisper.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't
Some
shot
people, those little things
specifically
are,
with
yeah.
that format in mind. So
Right.
it's like I'm okay with Blu-ray. Like
Right.
so
I'm not okay with DVD though.
Right.
So the new
Fuck DVD.
The new 8K television, Sony. I think it's Sony actually that also came out with the new, the first 8K television. You really feel like you could stick your hand through it.
Yeah.
That's how clear it is.
This
But
is
but
a
it goes
good
back to what
segue
you said
because-
the other day. Do you really want to, like when I watched what's the film with that was this Braveheart, but the new one. With,
Oh
Chris
yeah,
Pine.
with Chris Pine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I forget what it was called.
I didn't want to see it so clean.
Right.
It was such a gritty film, and I wanted to see it that way. And it was so clean watching it in 4K that it almost threw me off a little bit.
Yeah.
You know,
It
and
is
I wanted to
weird.
see- I wanted to see it gritty. I wanted to see it dirty because
Yeah, like-
that's literally the elements of that film. You know, it's all that grit.
Well,
Did
that
you
makes
guys
me
ever see
think
that
of
film?
I haven't watched it yet.
You
No.
need to see it. I never seen so many horses die in a film before. Literally. I was like, I was because I do special effects.
Yeah.
And I always, when I watch a movie with special effects, I always try to break it down. I literally had to watch it a couple of times. Like, how the hell did you kill those horses? It was just crazy.
They really killed him.
They killed a lot of horses. Yeah, there was there was some.
That's exactly what
Yeah,
it
we
is.
didn't mean to,
They
but
stopped
it just
killing
happened,
animals
yeah.
back in the 60s. I want to say for film.
Yeah, 50s.
Generally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say like there is something to that like that gritty like film grainy
Yeah.
kind of like that natural film grain. Like we were watching The Toxic Avenger, and like the film grain on it just gives it like a whole character to it. Like I'm watching something that's like pristine, like
Yeah.
on a digital. Like they have these Red cameras now that shoot in 8K and all that shit.
Yeah.
and it's like so clean.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice for certain.
But it's a bit soulless because
Things, like,
life is
but-
dirty and life is not perfect. And,
I guess,
you know,
but
like,
it's a weird
you
thing.
want
It's like
that.
we associate film with having the grain, being at 24 frames per second, certain aspect ratio, and then when they start changing those things, like 60 frames,
too much.
and
It
super
becomes too-
clean and all the
Romantic
shit, you're like,
comedies from the
doesn't feel like a
80s
movie.
feel, but like you watch a romantic comedy now, and those things are like the cleanest, most digital, like crisp
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
And I'm like,
Color,
it's too,
yeah,
too
because they're
polished.
colorful films. Yeah.
Yeah,
Too
they make them
polished.
pop. They make them pop.
Yeah, too much.
My thing about my thing about it is that
This is a
It
totally
started-
non-Christmas
No, this is
related
what- this is
No,
good.
conversation.
I mean,
I
this-
actually have a perfect
this-
segue, by the way.
well,
which
the
I
thing
will
what I
bring
wanted
up.
to bring up was the fact that when you're watching those films, Gritty, you accept them. That's a movie. This is a film.
Yeah.
And now things are becoming so realistic
Yeah.
that you're not having that fantasy element of watching a film.
Right.
And that's what I dislike about
like
it.
you're looking
I
through a
want to
window
feel like
into
I'm watching
reality,
a
yeah.
movie, not watching. I know it's whatever Star Wars or whatever, but I don't want it so clean where it seems like a reality, and it just doesn't give me that fantasy feel for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So the first DVD I ever saw,
Mm-hmm.
like in person, and was on Christmas Day, '97. I want to say
Mm-hmm.
it was. I was at my cousin's house in Massachusetts, and he was like, "I got this DVD player downstairs." So we went downstairs to his basement,
It's like
and he
$400
put-
for DVD
Yeah, it was on
player
this
or
big
something.
screen TV, which is a big fucking TV, and I was like, I don't even see a TV.
Was it
this
the big, the rear projection box TV?
I think
or
that's what
whatever,
it
where
was.
like
yeah,
a
because it was
projector
deep.
that-
It was not like
Yeah.
flat screen like
A
it is
friend of mine
today.
had one of those. It blew my
yeah.
mind. I was like,
yeah. So and then he puts on Top Gun.
Oh,
and I'm like,
shit!
Top Gun is a whole intro, like that whole, and then he starts skipping the tracks like a CD because I was familiar with CDs, and I'm watching a movie like a CD right now, and he's able to skip through the chapters.
Yeah.
Blew my mind.
That also blew my mind. the
I
first
literally
time I
grew
saw
up
it,
at
yeah.
that point. The only thing I knew was VHS
Yeah.
as home media.
Fast forward, rewind.
Fast forward, rewind. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, that was like my life.
and the cleanup when it gets all tangled.
this
in the
guy's
VCR.
literally-
Oh my god,
It was crazy.
dude,
tracking,
that was like my nightmare.
tracking
The
and all that stuff.
Tape got caught in the machine.
Oh my god! And then you had
Dude,
tracking.
I actually when
and,
I successfully took one
rewind
apart
boxes.
and then found the two parts it broke away and then put like tape masking tape or
And it
whatever
worked?
on it and then it worked and I put it back in. I was like, that happened to me with one
You
of the
felt like
tapes
MacGyver.
at Hollywood Video.
Yeah.
And it was like I knew it was going to be like $100. They were going to charge.
Did
my
you guys
account,
ever had that?
like, not let me rent anything because I didn't have $100? So I was like, tape that shit, put it back. I was like, yeah, nothing's wrong. It's great.
Did you guys ever had that cleaning
Coming clean 30 years
VHS
later.
tape where you put the little alcohol on the side of it and then
Yeah.
you stick it in the VCR?
Yeah, yeah.
and
Oh,
you
yeah.
play- yeah.
They
You had to
clean
wait
the
for like
headers.
30
the,
minutes.
cl-
yeah.
the,
headers
the
or
header,
whatever,
they did
yeah.
the clean, the
Because cassette tapes
actual
are the
cassette
same
tapes that
type
you
of
put in and
technology,
it
yeah.
cleans it up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
But
it.
yeah, so that was bringing it back to Christmas. Christmas Day was the first time I ever saw a DVD in
Yeah.
my life, and it's funny that I could pinpoint so many movie type related things to Christmas, you know,
Yeah.
because I got so many movies on Christmas Day. Rad, you know, was Christmas Day. You know, seeing a DVD for the first time was Christmas Day, and you know, I mean the cliffhanger thing we said.
Yeah.
I remember the last time I saw a serious kind of movie on Christmas Day was I Am Legend. I went and saw that in 2007, but I think I saw Scream.
I saw Avatar
I
Christmas
saw
Day.
Scream 2 on Christmas.
I guess I always associate Christmas Eve is like Christmas. And
Oh,
Christmas
that's your big time.
I
is
saw
Christmas
Avatar
Eve?
Christmas
too.
Eve. Yeah.
Christmas morning and Christmas Day is my
like,
big time.
Like that Christmas night,
Yeah.
the night before Christmas, there's like I don't know. It just seems like a more magic because Christmas hasn't happened yet.
Interesting.
And like Christmas Day after the morning, like after everything is like
Just
over, yeah, it just feels like now it's like wintertime.
And you
And and to me, New Year's is like nothing. Like, I
Interesting.
don't have anything associated.
do you have a big
with
It's
Christmas morning?
dangerous.
Is Christmas morning big for you?
Yeah, no, Christmas morning. No,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. Like Christmas morning is big, but then once that's over, then it's like, okay.
Now you're
See,
stuck
in
with
my-
your family.
It doesn't feel like Christmas anymore.
Okay.
But
It
it's like
always
that
feels like Christmas
anticipation.
when-
Oh, because I always have a big dinner thing
Really?
set for nighttime.
We do it, yeah. We
So
do a
I
dinner
lead
and
up to that,
everything.
and I'm able to play with things and do things and chill and hang out, and like it sort of just feels like a day. Like it probably feels what people feel for Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? I'm not a big Thanksgiving guy, but like
Yeah.
a lot of people love the just family coming together and leading up and waiting for the dinner to be cooked and chilling and like doing.
But that's
their
like
thing.
the
And that's Christmas
anticipation
Day
is,
for me.
up until the dinner.
Right, but then it's like after that we watch a movie and we chill out and we kind of like finish up Christmas. It's like just like
Yeah.
a
I think what it
celebration.
is as a kid, you put all this into for years and years and years of your life. If you celebrate Christmas,
lead up to Christmas.
you lead up to Christmas morning, like opening your presents and exchanging gifts is like the that defines Christmas to a child, and then as you grow up, you start to understand that there's
Yeah,
more to
it's
Christmas.
different.
than,
Go
like,
back to bed.
receiving gifts and all that shit. So,
But
you know.
Christmas Day was always you get everything Christmas morning. You know, your whole day is using, spending, wearing those things that you got.
That's true.
So like
I
that
did
was
get
my
a-
thing. It felt like the whole day because it's like everything was new.
Yeah.
I'd watch one of the movies I got, or I'd put on the new, you know.
I did get a
fucking
Nintendo 64 for
sweatpants.
Christmas.
Did
And
you?
It was nuts, like, because they were selling out everywhere. I'm like, you guys remember like N64 Kid?
Yeah.
Like, I had already known that I got it before Christmas. I mean, I was like
Oh, you
old
did.
enough. Well, I went with I said I wanted it, and then me and my dad went to like Best Buy, and every Best Buy was like sold out. Like, this is like no internet. Like, the internet didn't exist, so you had to like drive somewhere, ask, and then
Maybe call.
yeah, maybe call or whatever. And I think each Best Buy was only getting like 5 or something, like 5 a week. And you had to like leading up until Christmas or whatever. So we called one, and the guy's like, yeah, I think we got like 2. And so we like rushed over to this, and it was like wasn't close or whatever. Like we rushed over to this Best Buy in Springfield, actually. That Best
Yeah.
Buy that's still there.
Yeah.
And they had like 1 left. And we got it, and it never. None of them came with a game, so you had to buy the game. And there were only 2 games that came out with it when it launched. It was like Super Mario 64 and Pilot Wings, I think.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until later that
This is
like,
crazy.
those other games came out. So I got Super Mario 64, and it was like $80 or $90 for the game, and then like
And that was a
$200, I think, for
crazy
the
system because it was all 3D.
Yeah,
and,
the like
look
bananas,
around
the
and-
banana controller or whatever with the
Yeah.
3 things or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the super like.
That was revolutionary.
I have to
remember-
say, like the first time I saw that was in a KB Toys.
yeah, KB Toys.
And it was like I just couldn't imagine. Like I was so blown away.
yeah.
And I don't know. How old was I? Maybe like 14, 15 or something. Like I just couldn't even fathom like how this was even
Yeah.
happening. Like it was like watching like a cartoon you could control.
Right.
Which is like so crazy.
Right.
Like there's so much
It was
joy
like that.
associated
Yeah.
with that like weird like seeing it for the first time and then owning it and being able to play it at home on my own. Like I was like it was over.
Right.
It's over.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
My family, what they do, we have that big dinner at night, like you
Yeah.
guys do.
Yeah.
And then in the morning, you do the whole presents.
Oh, Christmas Eve you do a big dinner.
No. Christmas night.
Night.
He's going backwards.
Night
He
before.
started with
okay.
dinner
Night
and he's
before
going backwards
Christmas.
to the and then the Christmas
Okay.
morning you do presents.
And then
Yeah.
Christmas morning, we do presents.
Yeah.
And then we all go out for breakfast.
Oh, you go
to
out?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, we
interesting.
go out.
Yeah, we
go
cook breakfast and kind of like in our pajamas and you know.
Do you? Yeah,
have
no,
our
really?
teas
You go
or our
out? We,
chocolate.
always,
go-
we
No,
would
I'm
always
saying-
do
no,
a
no.
big breakfast.
At home, I would never
Oh,
go
yeah,
out. Yeah, that's what I said. I'm in pajamas. We'd stay there. We cook big breakfast. And we, have our hot chocolate or tea
Yeah.
or whatever.
We're
and
not
just
so
lounge
different.
around.
We're
We're
not
not
so
so
Well, we
different.
go
Neither
out
do I.
because the day before they cook so much. It's like nobody really wants to cook
Right.
anymore in the morning. And we just go out and
We-
just
Yeah, my
grab
family
breakfast.
we did the exact same thing, but we were kind of like for a little while we were trying to. I mean, I don't know if we were trying to, but we got into this thing where we were seeing movies on Christmas Day. But I know that's a big thing. Like a lot of
did that
people
for,
do.
like-
I
I've
do
done
that by
100
myself
times,
because I
yeah.
wake up so early.
I haven't done it in a while, but I kind of got like disabused of it when the last one I saw on Christmas Day was Frozen. I wanted to see Wolf of Wall Street, which is not a Christmas.
I saw that on
movie.
Christmas Day.
But
I saw that on Christmas
I was
Day.
the one that saw fucking Frozen because
Oh, you were that
I don't want
guy.
to blame my nephews, but they were my nephew, young nephew, wanted to see it.
Oh,
And
okay.
so, and my niece.
Hey, yeah, you didn't
So
want
we
to
went
bring
and
him
saw
to
it.
Wolf of Wall Street, which I did see on Christmas Day, and there's a lot of snow in that movie. Just not the ones you're
Yeah,
thinking
right.
about.
I did see it eventually.
Yeah.
A lot of miniature piles
Yeah,
of
I saw it
snow.
on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Especially the first scene where
On Wall
it's-
Street, actually. No, it was in New York, though.
That was crazy. That first scene of that film, right from the person's ass.
That wasn't the first scene. No,
that was the first
late-
scene?
That was later. No, that was
Was it?
later. No, he starts.
I thought that was
no.
like the opening scene.
No, not the opening, because he's like poor in the opening scene. That's when he does that when he's like wealthy.
I
like,
just read that the guy that DiCaprio plays in that movie just recently was in the news.
Jordan
like
Belfort?
something happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan Belfort. Yeah.
He got like hit with some fine
I
again.
know,
like
I know.
multi-million-dollar thing or
Crazy.
whatever.
But yeah, so at Christmas Eve, I always did one small present. That was it. That's all we
We've
did.
never,
on
yeah,
Christmas Eve.
I've never done.
We
a
kind of
Christmas-
chill out,
one
maybe have Christmas
gift
music.
thing.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people that did that.
Yeah.
Wait,
That-
did you guys ever get your tree on Christmas Eve?
a couple times we did that.
For
yeah.
most
A
of my
couple times.
childhood, that was our tradition.
You didn't
was
have it
we
the
would,
whole
yeah,
season?
we would go and buy a tree Christmas Eve and then spend Christmas Eve decorating it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And
I
then-
have done that.
I
I've
remember
trimmed
one
the tree
Chris-
on
one or
Christmas
two
Eve.
Christmas Eves, like they were all closed,
Yeah.
and it was like the years that it like snowed or something. So like there was nobody there, so you couldn't actually pay. So we just
You
took
stole
the
a Christmas
Or
tree?
I mean, I wasn't there, but my dad was like, yeah, we just
He
took
stole a Christmas
They
tree.
stole a Christmas. Like, I stole a Christmas tree on Christmas Eve. But it's like nobody.
Christmas is the season of taking. We know.
Yeah.
It's a season of.
That definitely happened like twice.
Give your kids a
Like
great
two different
Christmas at any
Christmases.
cost, by any means necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And my parents would always shop Christmas Eve, so it was like they were always in the stores. They were gone all day, and it was just like a nightmare. Like I couldn't even imagine. Like I've been to the stores on Christmas Eve before the internet, and like it was so mad. It was like a madhouse. Like you're just grabbing
last
things.
minute shopping.
Yeah, because that's how they did it. That's
You just
how
grab
my
whatever
parents
that
always
maybe
did
that
it.
person would like at that point because it's last minute
There's
shopping.
like nothing there. Yeah, it was like the stores were empty. Like you
Oh,
would go
wow.
into a Best Buy or like a whatever, like a Kmart or something like that. Because I guess Walmart wasn't that big around
Yeah.
here, so it was like Kmart or Best Buy.
You know what's weird? I remember the first time I actually gave presents to other people for Christmas. I
do too.
It seemed like I was too old. I should have been getting presents for people at 5 years old and
How
4
old were
years
you?
old. I was like 7.
Oh no, I was way older.
my parents always.
Oh, okay.
My parents always
But I
gave us
think about
money.
it, I'm like, I should have
yeah,
been.
my parents did that.
always
The
gave us
first
money to
year,
buy Christmas gifts.
My parents
Your
gave
parents
us.
gave you money?
They gave
Well, so-
before
As a kid?
I was as a kid. They gave us money to buy
Gave
people,
you to buy other people.
to buy people Christmas presents.
But how old were you
Wait.
when you started giving presents?
I was literally like 11.
How
Okay,
many?
so you were
how many
11?
of you
Okay.
were there?
Like it was 4.
4 kids?
4.
Yeah, so our parents, there's 6 of us. So they would give us all like, I don't know, 20 or 30 bucks or whatever, and then take us to the dollar store, and we would all buy gifts
Yeah.
from the dollar store or whatever and just like load up. But this was like, I don't know, yeah, probably the same
Yeah.
age, like
okay.
10, 12.
So I was
13, 11.
7. So okay. So I guess maybe I wasn't too old at that point, but I felt like, oh, that's old. I should have been
My-
making gifts before then, but I guess.
My nephew and nieces are like 14, 15, 16,
They still don't
17,
give
and
gifts?
they've never given
They
me
just
a
get
goddamn
gifts.
gift. I spend hundreds of dollars on these kids every year, and I get nothing.
Spent hundreds of dollars on them once.
I gave them all
Shame-
gift cards last year, and I was like,
Shame
so
on them.
you guys going to use these gift cards to get Uncle
You
Neil a
keep doing
gift?
it though, so shame on you, I guess.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's Christmas.
I like, yeah,
it's
I know.
Christmas.
Oh,
you like
all the
doing it.
gifts that I get them, I'm like, they're going to like lose their minds.
Yeah, I mean, you love it,
So,
right?
Yeah.
So the first year I did it, I was 7 years old, and there was this. I went to this Catholic school in New York, and
God bless
they
you.
had it. Yeah, thank you. Then they had this bazaar, like thing with like a bunch of gypsies, not gypsies, but like people just selling things on tables in the church.
You went to a
They called it a
Catholic school with
bazaar. You know,
gypsies.
a
Yeah, it's a
bazaar.
bazaar, yeah.
it was a bazaar. So I went to the bazaar, and I remember
We
going
went to
there.
a Catholic school with gypsies.
Yeah, I was just kidding about the gypsies.
This is New York City, man. Like
that's true.
anything's
Anything's
possible. It's
optional,
where
right?
dreams come true.
It's where dreams come true.
I'm Catholic. Option
Cath-
1,
Catholics and gypsies.
gypsy.
What is the religious
There's no.
denomination of gypsies?
There's not. Gypsies is a loose term, anyways.
yeah.
So
Is it a loose term?
it's a
I
loose
thought it was a
term.
culture.
I don't fucking know.
Okay.
So
They have their own language and shit.
I have no idea. Hungarian, right? So
I don't think it's
I went to this
Hungarian.
bazaar.
I think it's gypsy.
and I I'm gonna get the story out.
I
But
think
kills me.
gypsy is
Stuck on
actually
the
like a racial slur. Actually, now that I think
What?
about it, yeah, gypsy. Like the term, if you look at the
They gyp
derivation, it actually has to do with like a word that was used to associate with these like nomad people that would like come in and steal your shit. So it's like a negative
Oh, interesting.
term, but
Yeah.
it's been adopted. It's
All right.
actually
Interesting.
pretty dark.
So I went to
Anyway.
this bazaar and I had some
I
money.
think that's right. I might be
I
wrong.
have some money, and I don't know how I had money because I may have stolen the money. I may
Here
have
we
been.
go.
That's
I robbed
possible.
a bank.
I robbed.
And I gave it was the best Christmas.
No, but I
ever,
had a
so-
kleptomaniac streak in me for this little segment of time around that age.
So did I. I
Yeah.
used to steal from 7-Eleven.
Yeah, it's still
Almost got caught too.
Which one?
Yeah.
Almost. It was like terrified me.
You know you just got caught right now.
Well, no, my sister.
Statute of
my-
limitations.
I got home. I went to 7-Eleven, stole a
That
bunch
was
of shit.
yesterday. It was yesterday.
I stole candy bars. Let's. I was really obese, and
He was like Augustus Gloop from Willy Wonka.
I got home and I would stuff them inside my jacket
Sleeves,
sleeve or
yeah.
whatever, and it was like I just loaded them up. Like I had candy just stuffed inside me. And I got home and I took off my jacket, like all its candy bars had fallen. And my sister saw me and she fucking ratted me out. She
Right.
told my parents and they
Wow.
like lost it on me.
Jesus.
And I was like, so I stopped from that moment forward. Like once
Right.
I got caught, like I stopped.
Yeah, so I got caught, and I didn't stop, and then eventually I just stopped. But I brought this money. Maybe my parents gave me this money. Possibly I stole it. Either way, I was at this bazaar, and they were like things for like $1 here and there, and I started shopping. I was like on a whim. I was like, I should get things for my family for Christmas, and I got my dad like a black Swiss Army knife or like the Swiss Army knife because I was like, guys like
How
Swiss
much
Army
money
knives.
did you steal?
No, it was like $1 a piece. So
Oh,
I was
okay.
maybe I had like $7 on me, maybe $5. So and I had 4 family members here. So I had a brother, a sister, a mom, and dad. That was it. So I got my dad a Swiss Army knife because I was like, guys like knives. I got my mom this brooch thing that she could wear like on her chest, on her shirt.
Yeah.
And I got my sister lipstick because I'm like, girls like lipstick.
Yeah.
Women like jewelry.
Did you
Girls
do
like
that
lip-
with your hand every time
I
you
did
bought
that. I
something?
did that. And I got my brother like nothing.
He's doing jazz hands.
No, I got
This guy's
him something.
doing jazz
I don't remember what I got him
hands
though. And then I went to Odd Job Trading, which was this. They had this store in New York that was like this big, huge, almost like a warehouse full of cheap shit. It was called Odd Job.
Okay.
Everybody went to Odd Job. This place was a goddamn zoo. Anytime you went in there, and especially during Christmas time. And I went through, and I like. We were going up to my grandmother's, and I remember just getting my grandmother like this Mrs. Claus cookie jar and other things for like $2. This was actually the year after I remember. But the year I got the lipstick for my sister, the brooch for my mom, and the night was the first time, was actually the same year I got Cliffhanger. I realized that because I gave my sister's lipstick, she gave me Cliffhanger, and later on she threatened to take Cliffhanger back, and I said, fine, I'm gonna take the lipstick back. She's like, well, I don't fucking like that lipstick. And I'm like, well, fuck you anyway, I'm gonna take it back. And then she
This is what it
took my
devolves
Cliffhanger.
into. is-
She took my Cliffhanger. She totally straight up jacked the shit from my room. I was like, I'm gonna go get lipstick now because I couldn't find Cliffhanger. So I went to her room. Shit was locked. I was like, foiled. Yeah, so I never got the lipstick back. I don't
It's
think she
funny
ever wore it
too,
either.
like how once like as a kid, there's always everyone has that experience where like you try to do something good,
Yeah.
where you're like I'm gonna get this gift for this person and be like a good person. Like you think not like be a good person, but I'm like I think they'll really like this, and then you get rejected,
Yeah.
and they like don't like it, and then it like disabuse you of the idea of like gift
Giving.
giving, and you're like I'm not gonna give anybody a gift ever again, and so but then like you reach a point where like you've given enough gifts and people like it, or at least they pretend to like it.
Yeah.
More good experiences than bad.
Yeah, it's
And
just
always-
overwhelming.
there's always more
actually
good.
But
haven't
in the
had any.
beginning, like when you have like that first bad experience, you're like
Yeah.
never again.
So I remember this
Never
one
again.
Christmas. I had this friend, and he had even less money than me, and his mom couldn't afford a Christmas for him.
Yeah.
And I remember getting a bunch of toys, and I remember giving him some of my toys. One I had already had it, and another I was like, I can give him this one and this one. I remember giving him these, and I remember that being the first time. Besides that first time I gave like Christmas gifts, like for the first Christmas I did that. This Christmas I felt like, oh, that's the first time I did like a humanitarian thing on Christmas. Like I felt like good about it. I gave him stuff because his parents, his mom couldn't have. He was a single mother. She couldn't afford a Christmas for
It's-
him. So I remember going here.
Yeah, it's that thing
Yeah.
of like gift giving without expecting anything in
Totally.
return. It's just like totally. I don't know. What the
It's
word
selfless.
is, but selfless. Yeah.
Because I didn't expect anything. I didn't get anything from him, and I knew he couldn't even afford.
yeah,
stuff
when
for
that
himself.
happens, that's like a big deal for.
I might have fucked
Yeah, I
up
think
my
that's a-
friend's life for Christmas. I might have, yeah. No, I found out like one Christmas. I found when I was 14-year-old, my friend. I found out that he was being sexually abused by his dad,
Oh wow.
and I like told the school. It
Oh.
was their
I mean,
fault.
that's
probably
good
a
that you
good
did that.
thing,
It's a
Yeah.
good thing.
So, no, I don't feel bad about it because that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly what she should do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think like police, like the.
Well, I think it's good to
shit,
do a
like,
good deed
it
on
was
Christmas, no matter how dark it might be.
Does he know
but,
that
like,
this happened?
Yeah, he knew. I told
Oh,
him.
okay.
I told him. I was like, dude, I can. You're my friend. I was like, I
Can't
can't
not
let
say
you.
anything.
You can't.
Yeah.
I saw you like bruises and shit. I was like, dude, no, man.
Yeah.
And so he knew I did that, but I think his dad got taken away and shit like during that holiday.
Oh, and
and
so,
all.
like-
It was just crazy. It was.
But the
crazy.
fact is,
but he had
that's
he
better
actually,
than the abuse
He actually
continuing.
had Christmas. After Christmas, because I think they went to the mom's family's house for Christmas. But the week after, he literally spent like the whole week at my house. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So
Well, then that comes
crazy.
to like really what Christmas is all about because we talk about all the presents we got and the movies we got,
Yeah.
and the N64s
The
and everything like that, and the
materialism.
materialism of it,
Yeah.
which we always loved as a kid. And there's a lot of good
Yeah.
memories about that. But then you start looking at what's the time, when did it start to shift, and there was like other moments that came in, you helping your friend,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Just being able to be more selfless.
there's
You get
nothing
things
over
for your nephew. No, you said things for your nephews. Spend hundreds of dollars on them, and
Oh
that's not.
well, yeah.
That's really not.
Well,
material.
that point of like just the. That
Well, you just
not
start
expecting
wanting
anything.
Yeah, but you
just want to see him happy.
It's almost
Yeah,
not
you
about
want to help.
That's what it is.
You wanna
It's
help,
not really
yeah.
about you're not expecting anything back. It's like I just want to see them smile. Like I want
Yeah.
them to be happy.
Yeah.
I care about this person
You want
enough.
to create this positive.
Yeah, and if that takes
reaction.
if it's a material item that does that, they like it. Like there's nothing wrong with liking an object, you know, and you know that this is something that's along their interest line or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that's really true meaning of Christmas. You can get into it's basically
Joy.
helping
It's
somebody
like
else
bringing joy,
be
yeah.
happier.
Yeah.
You know,
And this is-
it's a relative term. It's gradation. It's like, but if you could do
the
something,
songs know what's up.
And this is
Songs
why we
know what's up.
this is why we do this podcast. Is we want to give our experience, our love of film to people.
right?
Yeah.
No, I'm bullshitting. the
No,
fuck out
no,
of
but it
this.
is true.
No.
We, and
Oh,
we
I
might
was-
be,
I was rolling with it, man. I was rolling.
It was
me
the sales
piggyback.
pitch. I was trying to do a
Let me
sales pitch.
piggyback on what you're saying though, but that is true. Like we try to, yes, we do curse a lot, right? And yes, we are cynical, like in this podcast.
And Nick can be foul sometimes.
I'm foul, son.
No, he's
I'm
foul.
foul.
He's foul.
But
Like, trust me, he's foul.
I am, but
know.
there's something about
I know when he's trying to get a reaction out of me and all shit.
Yeah, but there's this other point about movies that we try to
Yeah.
convey and we try to stick to, and it's almost like an underlying foundation of this podcast is we love movies and we try not to destroy movies. Like we're like some people
Yeah.
are extremely highly critical of movies, and sometimes we'll be like, that's not for me, but we try to find the merits in it, and we try to because we know what movies have done for us. Like we know the effect they've created on us throughout our lives and the memories they've given to us and their relation, even Christmas movies and everything else. Like they're able to package those feelings and sort of like deliver it to us.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you have to think about it. These people that are working in filmmaking, you know, they're creating something to give to you so you can experience something incredible.
Right.
That's what they do. That's what filmmakers do. They create elements to try to make your life better by, whether it's a horror film or a comedy or a dark film, they're trying to give you an experience in life. They're trying to let you see these different elements of life, and it's beautiful.
So
I
who are
love
we,
the
and
fact-
who are we to chop them down and shred a movie?
you know, and even if they're
You know, because
bad,
of
they're
that.
still their attempt were still to give you an experience in life.
Intentions were good.
Intentions was good, and this is
Well, I
how
don't-
I always
I
say. I try never to say, and I slip, but I try never to say that a film is horrible or
Yeah, we
bad.
definitely aren't 100%.
because I still have the respect of I know how much it takes to create a film, and you can have the best story in the world, but it might not relate well at the end of it. But they still worked hard to try to relate it well, and I will watch it. So
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, in a weird way, like I don't know what the word would be to describe us, but I don't really feel like we're film critics in that sense. Like
Right.
we're more like,
Passionists.
yeah, we're like enthusiasts. Like we're film enthusiasts who like
Yes.
can see the good in like the worst film because we know like 100 or 200 or 300 or 1,000 people worked on that film, and it was like 10 years of someone's life to make the worst fucking film ever made. You know, like the amount of like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's like you take into consideration all the effort that was put in to make garbage, and you're
Yeah.
like, holy shit! Like
Yeah.
this person really wanted to get this made, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to like say, if our job was to let our viewership know where they should invest their money and the best bang for their buck, then you can be a film critic.
yeah.
You can say, no, this is garbage. Don't spend your money on it. Spend your money on this. You're going to have a better experience.
Right, if that's the intention
Yeah.
behind
And
it.
that's,
then-
I don't really particularly care about that.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
I know.
like,
it's
you
an
know,
individual subjective
Yeah.
opinion.
yeah,
That's all it
exactly.
is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think, you know, because we're getting towards the end, I think maybe we should maybe pick a couple of our favorite Christmas movie quotes to kind of like cap off.
How you gonna just bring that up?
Yeah, man,
I'm
you
not
just
even
dropped
ready.
that
You just
bomb.
dropped.
No,
You're
no,
there
no, no.
searching your
This
phone.
fucking guy.
See,
No,
now
I
we're
just
back
picked
to
it-
normal
I
podcast
just
mode.
picked up my phone like 20 seconds ago. No. So I'll just start off while you guys are just like pulling up yours, right? While you just whip yours out.
But I don't even have time to research.
No.
it.
I'm not saying go crazy. No.
I don't know what to
Our
do.
yippee ki
I feel like-
motherfucker.
all
There we
right,
go.
you guys are
no,
just-
no. I'm
I
just.
don't
All right,
know.
you go. You go.
All right,
you
no.
go.
I'm just saying, just pull out. You don't have to say like you don't have to. It doesn't have to be your favorite. Just like a couple things. Like, I haven't even found my favorite, but like "It's a Wonderful Life" has a couple great quotes. Like he goes, "Remember, George, no man is a failure who has friends."
Yeah.
Quote.
That's a good quote.
It is a good quote. What else is there? I mean, there's obviously the Clark Griswold and Christmas Vacation. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, kiss my ass, kiss his ass, kiss your ass, Happy Hanukkah. That's so great. That's so great. Let's see.
Well, there's Scrooge, which is like the best one.
Yep. Oh, how about this one? The narration from The Grinch. How about this? He puzzled and puzzled till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. I've been reading The Grinch to my daughter.
Yeah.
Like it's so much fun. Just like it has all that. I mean, the book's different than the cartoon, but
That's the great thing about Dr. Seuss is like you think it's just this like rhyming, book
Yes.
or whatever, but it's like there's layers, that an adult
You're
can
right.
appreciate and that the kid eventually was going to pick up.
all right. Well, I just got 2 more quotes. You guys don't have to do quotes if you want, but I have 2
No, I
of
don't
my
want quote.
favorites. No, it's fine.
I want to go and see snowflakes.
Okay, I just wanted to kind of end it with a couple great, meaningful. How about this? Okay, Miracle on 34th Street,
Of
the
course.
original. You ready? Chris Kringle says, "Oh, Christmas isn't just a day; it's a frame of mind, and that's what's been changing. That's why I'm glad I'm here. Maybe I can do something about it." See, I like how he basically says Christmas isn't a day; it's a frame of mind.
Yeah.
And that's always what I've agreed with. It's an idea. It's an idea. It's an idealism. It's a way of thinking. It's not
Here we go.
particularly.
I'm
about
gonna
the
do a
day.
quote. I'm gonna do a quote. Ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Look, Charlie, let's face it. We all know that Christmas is a big commercial racket. It's by the Big Eastern Syndicate,
Yeah.
Good grief.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Lucy
Neil.
Van Pelt from Charlie Brown.
I mean, I don't know. There's so many.
You do one, and then I'll do one more, and then we'll be done. How about that?
No, we can do a bunch.
Christmas was on its way. Lovely, glorious, beautiful Christmas, upon which the entire kids' year revolved. Adolph Ralphie from A Christmas Story.
Ralphie.
I mean, I don't know. I honestly like one of my. I mean, there are a lot of good ones. Like a bunch of the quotes that you've said already. I've seen on here. Yeah, Christmas isn't a day; it's just a frame of mind.
Yeah.
I mean, this you've done this quote like a million times, but it's Christmas Eve. It's the one night of the year we all get to act a little nicer. We smile a little easier. We cheer a little more. For a couple hours out of the whole year, we are the people that we always hoped we would be.
Yes.
Like, to me, that's the embodiment. In a weird way, like, even though that movie's a comedy,
Yeah. That speech at the end.
weird speech, that almost feels ad-libbed, is like so real, and it
It's
like
the
hits
best.
home so hard.
Let me see if you guys
that
can
you're
guess
just
this
like,
one.
Yeah.
What the, it really captures, I think, the
Yeah.
whole Christmas spirit.
I think we should end by performing that line.
No.
You should perform it.
No.
You
I'll
do
do
it.
it
You
then.
do it.
How
well.
about
You
how
do it
about
well.
how about this one? No. I got to tell
Scrooge
you,
over
Santa.
here.
There's something about this plate that doesn't seem quite kosher.
Kosher.
It's Arnold. What is that from? That's from
Not Jingle All the Way.
Yes.
Oh,
It is.
I don't remember the kosher part.
Yes, it is.
It is?
It is.
That's also a good Christmas movie.
It
It's
is.
Sinbad and
Great.
Okay.
Great Christmas
Arnold.
movie. All right.
All right, good. So let me end with this. I'm just going to perform. I'm going to try and to do this one justice that Neil just did, like as Frank Cross from Scrooged, Bill Murray. And he says, "It's Christmas Eve. It's the one night of the year when we all act a little nicer. We smile a little easier. We cheer a little more. For a couple of hours out of the whole year, we are the people that we always hoped we would be." I feel like I got to do the whole thing.
Yeah, I know. There's like more to it. He's like, it
It's
feels
so good.
good. It
You
really
did
feels
great.
last
good.
year.
Like
Remember
he's
we did
so
great.
good.
Remember we did it last year?
That was good.
You did a good job.
Yeah.
You did a good job.
All right.
All right.
It's the best. It's like it's
So
the
good.
embodiment.
Well,
it's like
It
I
is.
I
you,
have.
you could take an old blanket out of the closet and say here, and you can make up a sandwich and say, by the way, here, I get it now.
It's such an interesting holiday because I know people that go to like mass at church every Christmas Eve, and then I have friends that are like Hindu that celebrate Christmas, like the Christmas holiday. Like it's such a weird universal kind
It's the
of
one time in the year
non-denominational
that I cannot tell my
holiday.
wife, no, I do not want to go to church.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's non-denominational, but at the same time, it's very much a Christian thing.
Yeah, it's like very layered with like
Yeah.
Christian themes,
I
but
don't
then
even
there's
think
so
it's
many
just-
people of different faiths that celebrate.
I
I don't
Right.
think it's
And
a
I think that's
Christian
okay.
thing, but I think it's just a religious thing.
Yeah,
Christian.
Because
It's
there's so many
more-
different religions are involved in this time of the year.
But then people who are not religious, they're atheist, agnostic, whatever, they also
they
celebrate
create their
Christmas.
own momentum. Yeah.
Well,
I
it's-
celebrate
so-
Christmas. I'm
It's
not
a
particularly...
very cultural time of the year. It's like, when we started keeping track of time, it was like, okay, the cycle's going to
Yeah.
start over.
Yep.
The seasons are going to start over. The crops are going to grow
Yeah.
more. All that kind of stuff.
Yep.
The end of your fuck ups and the start of a new.
It's a survival thing for the culture. It's like we're
Well,
going to have corn
To you
in a couple
guys,
months.
happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry
Happy
Christmas,
holidays.
you guys.
This
Happy
is-
holidays.
Yeah, I hope
Happy-
you guys get
happy
what you
Hanukkah.
want.
Happy Hanukkah's a little...
All right,
that's
and eat a lot.
What were the other ones?
Kwanzaa,
Feliz Navidad.
Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Vitafushi.
Yeah. Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Yeah. What does
Okay.
that mean again? Merry Christmas.
I think it's just Merry Christmas. I don't
Yeah.
know. Hey,
All
Merry,
right.
Merry Christmas to everybody out there, and Happy Holidays.
Happy
Hope you're having a
holidays.
good day.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us here at Get to the Podcast. That's Get to the Podcast with number 2. I'm Diego D'Souza.
I'm Nick Gambino.
And I'm Neil Carson.
And happy holidays.
And then you'll get greedy for
Happy
it.
holidays.
And you'll want it every day of the year.
Happy
And it's not just
holidays.
one day a year.
Boom,
People
boom.
say, this is crack.
Happy holidays. I don't even know the rest of that song.
The Drifters.
Drifters.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.